Clippers by one, coming out of the timeout. 4:25 to play. George, oh my goodness! A swivel live in downtown LA.
It's a backdoor set up in the timeout. The 360 finish. The play that got my partner a little bit excited. Backdoor, 360. Paul George hanging before he throws it.
8 of 9 DMPs in the previous 9 ball games. So kicked off the mothballs, and he's played very well for the Celtics.
So when you begin to force the situation from behind the three-point line, taking tough shots where your percentages go down, and
the senior. Good ball movement here to start things off in the second half for the Clippers. Long two for George. It settles in. Paul George with 15.
It's so enticing to go for that steal, but Batum thought he had it, and you miss it. This is what happens. Tatum gets you, but then Paul George, John Wall's little pick and roll game here. How about this though, Grant Williams?
Last time he tried to do it with him, he wouldn't talk to you and answer your questions. But did you notice, JJ, as Paul George hits? By the way, here's George with the blow by and the Euro step for the basket. Here's man driving. Paul George, potential dagger, drilling the three, pushing the lead to 13 and a timeout.
George runs the break the other way. We're tied at 8. Splits a pair of defenders. Stops inside the restricted area and elevates. Nice play by Paul. There's someone else. They too will have a slump as George makes his case to stay in during the play in the first quarter.
Right back to Paul George. Right back.
I remember this guy.
Yeah. You know, and so does just haven't been able to convert them, but you don't stop taking those shots because those opportunities are there. An excellent pass up. Again, in transition, this is where you...
5-14, requesting the screen from Zoo, turns the corner. Hands it off to Zoo for the flush. 10 points and 7 rebounds in the first half.
To kind of keep that momentum and that pace up.
George down the lane. Look out below as he rattles the street lamps out on figure.
Going to the backcourt.
George knocks it down, and this is the guy. George, mouth begins to water. Down the lane, floater is good. Blood in the... Taken 25 shots all year. They're all threes. As the Rockets turn it over, George slows the roll with 3:44 to play. Fires a 3 in transition. It's all cotton for Paul George. In the quarter, Rockets 5 for 17. George to Zoo, to the cup. Oh, and he thunders it in. George picked up by Porter Jr. Rises for 3 in the tie. George goes to work. George. The Clippers lead.
Mentality has to be if Kawhi's on the court or not. And here we go. Off the timeout. Ty Lue once again drawing up an excellent play to get Paul George a nice dunk.
Passes like that irk him when they become turnovers. Yep. Clippers choking down a canary feathers here to bring it back the other.
They can go out and perform and ultimately win some games.
Coming out of the timeout, Clippers trail by 4. George, the fadeaway, 17 on Thursday against the Lakers. George left alone. That provokes a 3, and he rips the court. Kings will have the ball to start the third quarter. 9 to shoot for George. 3. Dueling banjos in the...
Right back at you. Sabonis respecting the handles of PG. Gave him too much space. Able to...
George goes to work. Creates space. Flings a 3. It's good again. 19 first half points for Paul Morris. Off to the races. George with Fox to beat. Off the window and in. Counted on a foul. And
right here, the bobble. Watch Paul George right there. Identifies where Fox is at and then has the awareness.
The delay of game. That's the third one for the Clippers. The second. Lob coming out of the break. You were mentioning it earlier.
Out of the timeout. Luke Kennard down. Because you have to honor Luke coming up and Dave
Fox spins, fades, fires. Who said no? George from the wing to the lane. Oh, look out below! 5-100. We have entered clutch minutes as the NBA defines them. Under 5 with 5 minutes to play, and then Paul George does that.
Well, instead of posting Paul George up, now you get him on the move, which shifts the defense now, gives him more space to operate.
Leonard fakes, gets pumped, continues along, back up top. Paul George winds up and hits a 3.
Leonard sitting out as much as he does to ever find the continuity as George hits a... They have not said it's a suspension either.
Right. They count the basket. Yes, George counted and a foul.
And give the Clippers credit. They have responded after a slow start. They bounced back, went to guys off the bench. They played with more energy. And they
gets it again. Back out to George. And George connects on a three. Home for three. Zubac. George. Step back. Three-pointer. Got it. Paul George again is fourth and remaining. Jaren Jackson Jr. taken away by George.
coming up with a strip. Jaren Jackson trying to clear traffic. George with the hands in the strip.
Eventually he joined the Lakers, and they got routed in the finals, so it all worked out.
Got to throw that in there. Thank you.
Paul George, it's another the bomb, man. I'm telling you, that's a beautiful coat.
It brings out the vibrancy of my red hair.
I was going to say, that is such a red-headed move.
Devin swings it to Josh Richardson. Paul George just picked his pocket. That's offensive foul. No call, and then he scores. To use that off arm, he'll be responsible.
Yeah, I know. You're going to get a letter. No, that's unacceptable.
Out of the timeout, Zubac.
That the Clippers are putting on him, and as a result, we've seen him shoot right over the top.
George finds the seam, takes it to...
This we're talking about, they get another opportunity now to score.
George creates space again, flicks the wrist. Oh, bucket for...
That guard can keep you on his hip. He's in command.
George steps into a three. Bucket for Paul George. LeVert. Played on 3 teams the last 3 seasons. George, a step back, foul circle jumper. It is good. Tied at 78. George rises for 3. Oh, my.
Team, Paul George.
George accelerates down the lane. Off the window. Hot damn! The Clippers take the lead. Ago, but Darvin Ham told us he's well aware of the narrative that's out there and wants to stay on the court. Mark Jackson Clipper days. I noticed I said the last 25 years.
Yes, leave me out of that.
Georgia
Contact, and LeBron upset he did not get the call.
Here's the lob. Zubac with the foot down.
I'm turning the corner, getting into the paint.
Georgia